New setup here, so just bear with me a little bit while I still figure everything out. But hopefully this setup lets me make content a little bit quicker because I have two cameras now. You can see right here, second camera just for the products. Now when I'm talking about a product, I can just show you it immediately as I'm talking about it. I don't have to do B-roll all the time now, which saves me a bunch of time in post. So hopefully this works a little bit better and it still looks good. But anyway, as you saw in the B cam, today we're gonna be talking about the best budget MacBook you can buy, and it isn't the MacBook Air. So as you hopefully can see here, I have a MacBook Pro in front of me. This is the 2017 base model MacBook Pro. Now I'm not gonna waste any of your time. I'm just gonna start off with the benefits you're gonna see when you pick up the 2017 MacBook Pro compared to the 2018 MacBook Air. With the base model 2018 MacBook Pro, first and foremost, you're gonna get a better screen. The screen on the 2017 MacBook Pro is about 500 nits of brightness compared to 350 nits when you're getting the MacBook Air. So the 500 nits on the MacBook Pro 2017 is definitely gonna be better for people who are always next to a window or outdoors using their laptop. So as you can see here, if we turn the display all the way up, it's super bright. It's a little bit overexposed on this camera now. But beyond just brightness, the 2017 MacBook Pro base model actually has P3 color. So compared to the 2018 MacBook Air, that one does not have any P3 color. It's still an accurate display. I will say that it's still, I think it's still like 99, 100% sRGB, but that P3 color gamut in the 2017 MacBook Pro is just gonna make it a bit better than that MacBook Air. And when you're paying more or less the same price for both, I'm gonna get on price later, I don't see why you would, sacrifice the brighter display and the more accurate, more vibrant colors when you can just get this instead. All right, okay, you get it. The screen is better on the 2017 MacBook Pro, but the new 2018 MacBook Air has a better keyboard, has a third generation butterfly switches. Well, yes, the 2017 MacBook Pro does have the second generation butterfly switches. They're not as good. They're prone to getting destroyed basically if you have crumbs go underneath them. But I will say I did personally own the 2016 MacBook Pro 15-inch and it had the same switches as these, and I never really had any issue with them. I owned it for a year and a half and nothing went wrong with it. It worked perfectly fine. Now just below the keyboard you can find the trackpad, and the trackpad on the 2017 MacBook Pro is actually far bigger than the trackpad on the 2018 MacBook Air, which is weird because the length of the 13-inch MacBook Pro and the 2018 MacBook Air is exactly the same. So it should have more or less room for the same exact trackpad, but for some reason Apple put a smaller trackpad on the 2018 MacBook Air. Also on another note, the 2017 MacBook Pro is actually going to charge faster than that 2018 MacBook Air, just because it comes with a higher wattage charger than the 2018 MacBook Air, so it should charge a bit faster than that computer. Now speaker performance, the 2018 MacBook Air does have pretty good speakers, but just because it's a little bit thicker of a computer, it has more space for bigger speakers. The sound quality on the 2017 MacBook Pro is a bit better than that. Here's a quick sound test of the speakers on the 2017 MacBook Pro. It's not going to sound great because it's coming through my microphone, then through your speakers again. So it's not going to be the best, but it's going to give you a general idea of what you can expect from this laptop. So you get the general idea. The speakers aren't as loud or as bass heavy as a 15-inch MacBook Pro, but compared to the 2018 MacBook Air, they're far better. Now I'll admit, the performance difference isn't massive, but it's still there. So you're still gonna get better performance on the 2017 MacBook Pro compared to 2018 MacBook Air. Even though the 2018 MacBook Air technically does have newer chips, they're still lower end chips compared to what the 2017 MacBook base has. Now I'm not gonna run any benchmarks. Honestly, I don't like benchmarks. I don't think they really show you what the laptop can actually do, but I'll leave a link down below so you can check out a video that does all the benchmarks on this laptop and the 2018 MacBook Air, and you can see for yourself. Now those are the things that it does better than the 2018 MacBook Air, but there are some similarities. Both computers have two Thunderbolt 3 ports. As you can see right here, you got your two Thunderbolt 3 ports, exactly the same as the MacBook Air 2018. Both computers start with 128 gigabytes of storage. As you can see here, you're actually only getting 121 gigabytes because some of that memory is reserved for the operating system. And both computers come with 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. But of course, not everything is perfect with the 2017 MacBook Pro. There are some things that the 2018 MacBook Air do better. Like I mentioned earlier, the MacBook Air does come with that third generation butterfly keys. Those keys are far better, at least when it comes to failure rate, compared to 2017 MacBook Pro. And they're less clicky than the 2017 MacBook Pro. Personally, I don't think it's a problem. As you can hear here, I'll give you a quick test. I'm hitting the keys pretty hard, but they're not that loud, but they are noticeable. Whereas compared to the 2018 MacBook Air, the keys are a little bit more subdued. They have a little bit more bounce to them because they have that rubber coating underneath to keep their debris from going underneath them. Beyond that, there is no T2 chip in the 2017 MacBook Pro. That's Apple's newer chip that handles Siri and your camera and all this other random stuff that the computer does just to unload from your main processor. Don't worry too much about it because it's been known to cause some issues, and either way, this computer, it still has better performance than the 2018 MacBook Pro, so that chip isn't doing much in the first place. Though it does have Hey Siri and this computer does not, so if you use Siri all the time, that's something you really love, then that probably will be the one thing that drags you over to the 2018 MacBook Air. Now the MacBook Air is called the Air because it's supposed to be super thin and light, and it is lighter, but only about half a pound, maybe a quarter pound lighter than this computer. So it's not much of a difference between the weight here. This is still a super thin and super light computer. You're not gonna have any issues carrying this around with you. This computer, the 2017 MacBook base, does not come with Touch ID, so you're gonna have to go back to the old-fashioned days of typing in your computer. Honestly, again, this is not something that should be a huge deal breaker for anybody. This is just a nice little convenient thing to have, but it's not something that's absolutely necessary. But finally, the biggest and best reason why you should pick up the 2017 MacBook Pro compared to the 2018 MacBook Air is the price. You can usually find the 2017 MacBook Pro on sale for $1250 brand new. Basically, you can find this thing on sale at least once a month from every major retailer out there. They're always gonna have this thing on sale. But if you don't mind buying used, and I'm a huge advocate for buying things used, I buy every MacBook Pro I've owned is a used MacBook Pro, and I save a bunch of money on them. You can actually get this thing for under $1,000. Now, to be fair, you can probably find a 2018 MacBook Pro used under $1,000 as well. But again, that comes back to this best bang for your buck. If you can buy them both for under $1,000, both for about $900 to $1,000, this is still the better value, and I still recommend paying a little bit more for this one compared to that one. I actually picked up this 2017 MacBook Pro that you're looking at right now for $930 from B&H Photo used. I was also able to get Apple Care Plus for this laptop, even though it was used. And for less than $1,000, you can pick yourself up the best budget MacBook Pro out there. If you're just getting into the Apple ecosystem, this is a great place to start. I would say this is my definite recommendation to anyone out there who's looking to get a new MacBook and doesn't have a lot of money. Pick this thing up, you will not regret it. It's gonna work fast, it's gonna sound great, it's gonna look great, and you're gonna be very happy. But if you know of a reason why you should pick up the 2018 MacBook Air compared to the 2017 MacBook Pro base model, leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts, let me know if you do agree with me or disagree with me. More than likely, most people will comment disagree with me, so feel free to be angry in the comments. And if you made it this far in the video, leave me 3 Apple emojis in a row. But as always, my name is Joshua Jamios. Stay sexy, and I'll see you sometime.